Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Tonight, Sami Zayn puts his hardcore championship on the line against Ludwig Kaiser, following last week's vicious assault. After losing the title 2 weeks ago, Kaiser is back with a vengeance, seeking to reclaim what's his. Will Zayn be able to withstand Kaiser's attack and hold on to the hardcore championship? Sol Ruca earned her shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship last week, and tonight she challenges Lyra Valkyria for the gold. Can Ruca ride her momentum and dethrone the champion in this high-stakes matchup? After last week's shocking attack by Tessa Blanchard and Kelani Jordan, Alexa Bliss and AJ Lee are looking for revenge tonight. Will Bliss and Lee overcome the assault, or will Tessa continue her destruction on her Elimination Chamber opponents? After last week's vicious post-match attack by the Kabuki Warriors, Raquel Rodriguez teams with Rhea Ripley to settle the score tonight. Will Rodriguez and Ripley get their revenge, or will Asuka and Kairi Sane continue their path of domination? First up, General Manager Adam Pearce is making his way to the ring, ready to address the WWE Universe with a series of important announcements. Adam Pearce announces 2 huge matches for the Elimination Chamber. Gunther will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor in a last-man-standing match. He also reveals that CM Punk will face Seth Rollins in a street fight to settle their ongoing rivalry following Rollins' backstage attack last week. Next week on Raw, CM Punk will team up with Gunther to face Seth Rollins and Finn Balor in a high-stakes tag match ahead of their Elimination Chamber showdowns.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Miami, Florida, Lola Vice.
Lola Vice makes her entrance, determined to shake off last week's disappointment in the Women's Intercontinental Championship #1 contender triple threat match. She's ready to channel all her pent-up frustration as she takes on Kiana James tonight.
And her opponent, from Sioux City, Iowa, Kiana James.
Kiana James makes her entrance, riding the wave of momentum from her victory over Valhalla last week. Tonight, she looks to extend her winning streak as she prepares to face the formidable Lola Vice. Lola Vice wastes no time, coming out firing on all cylinders and overwhelming Kiana James in the opening moments. Just as Vice appears to be in control, Jacy Jayne makes a shocking appearance at ringside, distracting Vice and allowing Kiana James to turn the tables in her favor. James remains in control, overwhelming Vice with calculated offense and relentless pressure. Vice struggles to mount any response as James dictates the pace of the match. James goes for a high-risk move off the top turnbuckle, but Vice evades the diving attack and takes her down to the mat. Lola Vice accidentally takes out the referee, leaving the match in chaos. Jacy Jayne seizes the moment, sliding a steel chair into the ring for Kiana James to use against Vice. After brutalizing Vice with the steel chair, James looks ready to end this match once and for all. James delivers the 401K and immediately goes for the pin.
Here is your winner, Kiana James.
Kiana James secures the victory, aided by Jacy Jayne's interference. The duo continues their assault on Lola Vice, relentlessly attacking Lola Vice with a steel chair, showing no mercy. Jayne and James make their alliance and dominance unmistakably clear.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from San Diego, California, weighing in at 200 pounds, representing the Judgment Day, he is Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Here comes Dominic Mysterio, stepping onto the stage with purpose as he looks to showcase his abilities, climb the ranks, and bring honor to the Judgment Day. But standing across from him tonight is the Mad Dragon Ilya Dragunov. Can Dominic rise to the challenge and overcome this ferocious test?
And his opponent, from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 210 pounds, he is the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov.
And now the Mad Dragon Ilya Dragunov makes his way to the ring, a man who has been searching for answers after recent setbacks. Tonight is about redemption and reassertion, as Dragunov looks to prove he is worthy of another championship opportunity and remind the roster exactly who he is. Dominic Mysterio comes out firing at the opening bell, pressing the action and trying to catch Dragunov off guard. But Ilya Dragunov counters with authority and immediately asserts his strength, manhandling Dominic and taking early control of the matchup. Dragunov goes for an early H-bomb. Dominic Mysterio is ready for it and narrowly counters, slipping out of danger just in time. Dominic Mysterio begins to seize control of the match, using his speed and quick strikes to overwhelm Ilya Dragunov. Mysterio caps it off by drilling Dragunov with the Three Amigos, shifting the momentum firmly in his favor. Dirty Dom drops Dragunov onto the apron with a devastating Mexican destroyer, stunning the Mad Dragon and bringing the crowd to its feet. Dominic Mysterio hoists Ilya Dragunov up looking for a powerbomb, but Dragunov smartly counters into a roll-up. Mysterio quickly reverses it into a pin of his own, but Dragunov powers out. Dragunov counters the scoop slam attempt, turning the tables with precision and urgency. He wastes no time charging in for the H-bomb, and this time it connects flush on a down Dominic Mysterio. The Mad Dragon dives in for the pin, but Dirty Dom somehow kicks out at 2, leaving Dragunov visibly frustrated. Dirty Dom fights back with renewed energy, regaining control of the match through sharp timing and resilience. He uses his speed and fast-paced offense to overwhelm the Mad Dragon, keeping Dragunov off balance and on the defensive. The momentum shifts once again as Dominic dictates the pace of the action. Dirty Dom sends Dragunov into the ropes and snaps his face with a brutal 619. Dom then climbs to the top turnbuckle, soars through the air with a frog splash, and hooks the leg for the pin. Dirty Dom secures the victory, overcoming the fierce challenge of the Mad Dragon. With this win, he looks to continue his climb up the ranks and bring honor to the Judgment Day. The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Sol Ruca makes her way to the ring, riding a wave of momentum after an impressive rivalry with Liv Morgan and last week's victory in the #1 contender triple threat match. Tonight, she looks to capitalize on this opportunity as she challenges Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria makes her entrance, a proven champion who has overcome every obstacle and successfully retained the Women's Intercontinental Championship time and again. Tonight, she faces another rising challenge in Sol Ruca, and the question remains whether Valkyria can once again turn back a hungry contender. The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Introducing first, the challenger from Ontario, California, Sol Ruca, and her opponent from Dublin, Ireland. She is the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. The champion Lyra Valkyria starts the match on fire, setting a relentless pace as she looks to secure her title defense early. Sol Ruca answers back with timely counters, showcasing her own determination to seize championship gold. The action goes back and forth with both competitors, giving everything they have, each exchange intensifying the battle. Every move is about gaining that critical edge and tipping the match in their favor in this championship showdown. Sol Ruca picks up the pace, crashing down on the champion with a diving moonsault and going for the pin. But Lyra Valkyria emphatically kicks out at just 1. Sol Ruca looks to keep the pressure on. But at the crucial moment, Lyra Valkyria rolls out of harm's way as Ruca crashes on a springboard moonsault attempt. Lyra Valkyria starts to pick up momentum, using her quick offense to put the challenger on the back foot. Sol Ruca struggles to fight back as the champion keeps her off balance and in control. With momentum firmly on her side, Lyra Valkyria climbs to the top turnbuckle and crashes down on Sol Ruca with a frog splash. The champion hooks the leg, but Sol Ruca somehow kicks out at the very last possible moment. Lyra Valkyria seats Sol Ruca on the top turnbuckle, looking to capitalize on her advantage. Sol Ruca counters in an instant, knocking Valkyria off and sending her crashing to the mat with a huge impact. Sol Ruca goes for the pin, but Lyra Valkyria somehow manages to kick out. Just as the action reaches a fever pitch, Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton storm the ring and launch a sudden assault on both competitors. The chaos overwhelms the match, forcing the referee to call for the bell and rule this match a no contest.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. From Benue State, Nigeria, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the Intercontinental Champion, Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews makes his way to the ring with determination etched on his face, ready to answer Tommaso Ciampa after last week's vicious backstage attack. Tonight, Crews looks to settle the score and prove he can overcome Ciampa inside the ring.
And his opponent. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, weighing in at 201 pounds, representing DIY, he is Blackheart Tommaso Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa makes his way to the ring with a cold, methodical focus, clearly intent on finishing what he started backstage last week. After assaulting Apollo Crews to avenge Johnny Gargano's loss, Ciampa looks ready to continue the punishment and make a statement against the Intercontinental Champion tonight. Apollo Crews comes out firing in the opening moments, bringing the fight straight to Tommaso Ciampa as he looks to avenge last week's backstage assault. But Tommaso Ciampa is not to be underestimated as he fights back and dishes out punishing strikes on the Intercontinental Champion. Ciampa appears to be firmly in control as he continues his relentless assault on Apollo Crews. Just when things look bleak, Crews explodes back into the fight and levels Ciampa with a huge clothesline. The action goes back and forth as both competitors struggle to gain control of the match. Apollo Crews explodes into action once again, planting Ciampa with a huge backdrop. Crews climbs to the turnbuckle for the lowdown, but Ciampa rolls out of harm's way just in time. Ciampa capitalizes on the opening and looks to seize full control of the match. He drops Apollo Crews with a punishing double knee backbreaker, weakening the champion. Ciampa then climbs to the top turnbuckle and connects with a diving elbow drop to the chest. Sensing the end is near, he plants Crews with the fairy tale ending and goes for the pin. Somehow, Crews kicks out at the last possible moment, showcasing incredible resilience. Apollo Crews counters and fights his way back into the match with renewed intensity. He begins to use his raw strength to overwhelm Ciampa, turning the momentum in his favor. Crews toys with his opponent, muscling him around with authority. He repeatedly slams Ciampa hard into the mat, asserting his dominance. Crews sends Ciampa to Suplex City with 3 consecutive German suplexes, each one rattling his opponent. Crews then drops Ciampa hard with a thunderous spinebuster. He hooks the leg and goes for the pin. Apollo Crews secures the victory, but he barely has time to celebrate as Johnny Gargano storms to the ring and launches a surprise attack. Gargano unloads on Crews, making it clear that the fight is far from over. Tommaso Ciampa slides a steel chair into the ring for Johnny Gargano to continue the post-match assault on Apollo Crews. Just as Gargano prepares to strike, Sheamus storms out to make the save, forcing DIY to retreat up the ramp. The following hardcore match, scheduled for one fall, is for the Hardcore Championship. Ludwig Kaiser makes his way to the ring with a cold, focused stare, clearly intent on reclaiming the Hardcore Championship from Sami Zayn. After confronting Zayn and brutally assaulting him following last week's challenge, Kaiser looks to capitalize on that advantage tonight. Sami Zayn makes his way to the ring, showing grit and determination after suffering a surprise assault by Ludwig Kaiser last week. The question now is whether Zayn is in good enough condition to withstand Kaiser's aggression and retain the Hardcore Championship tonight. The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the Hardcore Championship. Introducing first, the challenger. From Hanover, Germany, weighing in at 220 pounds, representing Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, and his opponent. From Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds, he is the Hardcore Champion, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn hands the Hardcore Championship over to the referee as this match is about to get underway. The bell rings and Ludwig Kaiser immediately pounces, locking Sami Zayn in a leg lock to wear the champion down early. Zayn fights through the pain, rolls over to reverse the pressure, and forces Kaiser to break the submission. Sami Zayn is fired up, overwhelming Ludwig Kaiser with his fast-paced offense as Kaiser struggles to keep up. Sami Zayn is firmly in control now, showing clear determination to retain his title. Zayn then takes flight, launching himself with a high-impact dive to ringside onto Kaiser. Sami unleashes his fury on Kaiser at ringside, but Kaiser manages to counter and seize control of the situation. Ludwig Kaiser drops Sami Zayn hard onto the ringside flooring, shifting the momentum in his favor. Kaiser then retrieves his steel chair and mercilessly punishes Zayn with repeated shots. Sami Zayn refuses to stay down, fighting back with sheer resilience and determination. Zayn slams Kaiser headfirst into the trash can, then crushes him by driving the can down onto Kaiser. Sami Zayn pulls out a sledgehammer, but Ludwig Kaiser narrowly evades the danger. Kaiser explodes into action, catching Zayn with an air raid crash neckbreaker and going for the pin. But Zayn kicks out to stay alive. Ludwig Kaiser's frustration continues to grow as he drags Sami Zayn back to his feet. Kaiser plants Zayn headfirst with the square hammer and goes for the pin, but Zayn still manages to kick out. Ludwig Kaiser picks up the sledgehammer and crashes it down onto Sami Zayn. As Kaiser winds up for another shot, Zayn rolls out of harm's way and explodes back with a big boot that knocks Kaiser down. Zayn sends Ludwig Kaiser crashing onto a ladder at ringside, leaving him reeling in pain. Zayn climbs to the top turnbuckle, leaps off, and drives Kaiser through the ladder with devastating impact. He then regains his footing, grabs a kendo stick, and delivers several punishing shots, keeping Kaiser firmly on the defensive. Back in the ring, Sami Zayn drives Ludwig Kaiser through a table in the corner with a powerful exploder suplex. Zayn is absolutely fired up, feeding off the momentum of the big move. He then sends Kaiser to the corner, charges, nails the hell of a kick, and goes for the pin. Here is your winner, and still, hardcore champion, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn secures the victory and retains the hardcore championship, but his celebration is abruptly cut short. Moose from TNA suddenly appears and attacks Zayn from behind, sending a shocking message to the champion. The question now looms large. Why did Moose make the jump from TNA just to attack Sami Zayn?
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. From Columbus, Ohio, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss makes her entrance, ready to get revenge on Tessa Blanchard and Kelani Jordan for last week's post-match attack. Teaming up with fellow Elimination Chamber competitor AJ Lee, Bliss prepares for a high-stakes and unpredictable tag match tonight.
And her partner. From Union City, New Jersey, she is the Black Widow, AJ Lee.
AJ Lee makes her way to the ring, fired up to settle the score with Tessa Blanchard and Kelani Jordan after last week's attack. Partnering with Elimination Chamber rival Alexa Bliss, she aims to take control in this high-stakes tag team matchup.
And their opponents. First, from Charlotte, North Carolina, she is the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard steps into the ring, still riding the momentum from her impressive Royal Rumble showing. Alongside Kelani Jordan, she looks to assert her dominance and punish Alexa Bliss and AJ Lee before the upcoming Elimination Chamber.
And her partner. From Boynton Beach, Florida, Kelani Jordan.
Kelani Jordan makes her way to the ring, determined to prove herself and overcome the disappointment of missing out on the Elimination Chamber. Teaming with TNA's Tessa Blanchard, she aims to dominate Alexa Bliss and AJ Lee tonight. Tessa Blanchard looks to assert her dominance early against Alexa Bliss, but Bliss uses her experience and ring savvy to take control despite the size disadvantage. Alexa Bliss continues to overwhelm Tessa Blanchard with her offense, firmly controlling the pace of the match. Blanchard has no choice but to retreat and tag in Kelani Jordan. Kelani Jordan enters the ring with purpose, determined to showcase her abilities against the season competition. The young superstar brings the fight straight to Alexa Bliss, unleashing quick, explosive offense. Jordan overwhelms Bliss and briefly takes control of the match. Kelani Jordan continues her assault on Alexa Bliss before making the tag to Tessa Blanchard. Blanchard immediately tries to steal it with an illegal leverage pin using the ropes, but the referee catches her in the act. Bliss fires back, dropping Blanchard with a devastating Sister Abigail DDT before going for the pin, but Jordan rushes in to break it up. Alexa Bliss makes the tag to AJ Lee, and Lee storms in, punishing Tessa Blanchard with a flurry of stiff strikes. AJ Lee tags Alexa Bliss back in, and the two work seamlessly together to take down Tessa Blanchard. Bliss keeps the pressure on, controlling the match and dishing out punishment in payback for last week's attack. Bliss tags Lee back in, and the two combine once again to deliver a tag team move on Blanchard. Lee continues to mount the pressure on her Elimination Chamber rival, taking Tessa Blanchard down with authority. Lee then turns her attention to the apron, knocking Kelani Jordan off to the ringside floor. With the opening created, Lee charges in and nails Blanchard with the Shining Wizard before going for the pin.
Here are your winners, AJ Lee and Alexa Bliss.
Tessa Blanchard stands alone in frustration after the loss, but Asuka suddenly storms the ring and attacks her, exacting revenge for her Royal Rumble elimination. She rallies Io Sky and Kairi Sane to join her, escalating the assault on Blanchard. Blanchard tries to fight back against Asuka, but is soon being overwhelmed. Together, they send a clear warning to both WWE and TNA, asserting their dominance as a formidable faction. The commentators turn their focus to backstage, where some commotion is unfolding. Wyatt Six's Eric Rowan and Uncle Howdy ambush American Maids Chad Gable and Otis backstage, continuing a relentless streak of attacks. Chaos intensifies the bitter rivalry between Wyatt Six and American Made after weeks of mind games and assaults. Rowan and Howdy methodically dismantle Gable and Otis, leaving a clear message of dominance. Their brutality showcases why Wyatt Six's faction is feared across the locker room.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. From Adelaide, South Australia, she is the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley makes her way to the ring, fired up and ready to seek revenge on the Kabuki Warriors for last week's post-match attack. She aims to dominate tonight and prove why she is a top contender for the upcoming Elimination Chamber match.
And her partner. From Rio Grande Valley, Texas, she is Big Mommy Cool, Raquel Rodriguez.
Raquel Rodriguez makes her way to the ring, fired up to seek revenge on the Kabuki Warriors for last week's post-match attack on her and Ripley. She aims to dominate tonight and prove that she is a serious contender in the upcoming Elimination Chamber match.
And their opponents. They are Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors.
The Kabuki Warriors make their entrance, ready to target Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez, aiming to weaken Asuka's Elimination Chamber opponents. The Kabuki Warriors are determined to gain every possible advantage for Asuka before the big match. Kairi Sane looks to strike early against Rhea Ripley at the opening bell, but Ripley quickly overpowers her and seizes control of the match. Ripley tags in Raquel Rodriguez, and the two put together an impressive display, combining to take down Sane with a strong tag team maneuver. Rodriguez continues to mount the offense on Sane, wearing her down in the ring. Sane digs deep, counters at the right moment, and explodes back into action to take Rodriguez down. Sane makes the tag to Asuka, and the Kabuki Warriors combine brilliantly to showcase their trademark teamwork. Their coordinated offense takes Rodriguez down with authority. Asuka continues to mount the pressure on Rodriguez, keeping her grounded and under control. She methodically targets Rodriguez's limbs, looking to break her down piece by piece. The strategy is clear as Asuka works to weaken the powerhouse for the long haul. Rodriguez's arm is clearly compromised after Asuka's relentless assault. Asuka charges in and drills Rodriguez with a crushing running hip attack. She then makes the tag to Kairi Sane, keeping the pressure firmly on their opponents. Kairi Sane knocks Rhea Ripley off the apron to the ringside floor before heading to the top turnbuckle. Sane soars through the air with the insane elbow on Raquel Rodriguez and immediately goes for the pin.
Here are your winners. The Kabuki Warriors.
The Kabuki Warriors stand tall with a decisive victory, asserting their dominance as a team. The message is clear as they send a strong warning to Asuka's Elimination Chamber opponents. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you like this video.